All right, so we're going to be talking about section 6-7, which is going to be talking about graphing tangent. And so that is the third of our big three functions that we're going to be graphing. And so we want to recall from the unit circle that tangent of theta is equal to y over x, opposite over adjacent. All right, so we're going to take this step by step and we're going to focus on the values at 0, pi over 4, pi over 2, 3 pi over 4. These are enough of the values in order to be able to talk about tangent of theta. And so remember, on this unit circle, the yellow values are the y values, the green values are the x values, and the answers for tangent are going to be y over x. So in the case of tangent of 0, my x value is 1 and my y value is 0. And so that's going to be 0 over 1. So I'm just going to mark all these for right now. So then at pi over 4, we're going to get an x value of root 2 over 2 and a y value of root 2 over 2. And so that's going to give me root 2 over 2 divided by root 2 over 2. Tangent of pi over 2, that's at the point 0, 1. So that's going to be the fraction 1 divided by 0. At 3 pi over 4, that's going to be at the point of negative root 2 over 2, comma root 2 over 2. So that means my y value is positive root 2 over 2 and my x value is negative root 2 over 2. Over here at pi, that's the point at negative 1, 0. So my y value is 0 and my x value is negative 1. At 5 pi over 4, my point is at negative root 2 over 2, comma negative root 2 over 2. And so the tangent is going to be negative root 2 over 2 divided by negative root 2 over 2. And then over here at 3 pi over 2, that's the point 0, comma negative 1. So my y value is negative 1 over my x value of 0. Okay. And then the tangent of 7 pi over 4, that's going to be at the point root 2 over 2, comma negative root 2 over 2. And so my y value is the negative over the positive. And then my tangent at 2 pi, we're back to 1, 0. So my y value is 0 and my x value is 1. So if I clean this up, I'm going to do it in red so that we can see it. And remember, we have the saying of no versus okay. So it's not okay to have 0 in the denominator, but it is okay to have 0 in the numerator. So in this case, we've got 0 over 1. That's an okay, so that's going to be equal to 0. Over here, I've got a number divided to itself or into itself, so that's going to give me a positive 1. Over here, this is a no, so this is going to be undefined. Over here, I have a positive value divided by its opposite, so that's going to give me negative 1. Over here, this one is an okay, and so that's going to give me 0. Over here, a negative divided by a negative is a positive, and a number divided by itself is 1. Over here, negative 1 over 0 is undefined. That's a no. And then over here, I have a negative divided by a positive, so that's going to be a negative, and the number divided to itself is just 1. And then over here, we get an okay, and so that's going to be 0. All right, so now we understood where all those numbers came from. So on this slide, I already have that written out. And so what's going to happen is everywhere you see that it's undefined, that means that nowhere where I see pi over 2 am I going to have a point. So that's going to be an asymptote. So I'm going to have an asymptote at pi over 2, and I'm going to have an asymptote at 3 pi over 2. Okay, so what I did here, because you can't see the colors, you would have seen colors on my smartboard, but I highlighted these are the original 4 plus one more on the left of the y-axis. And then what we're going to learn is we're going to need the values in between as well. So this is going to be my pi over 2, sorry. And then this one is going to be my pi. And then we've got 3 pi over 2, and we have 2 pi. Okay, so reflecting across the y-axis, this would be negative pi over 2, and this is going to be 1 and 2. Okay, so as I read this, this is saying that the tangent of 0 is equal to 0, so that means that I have the origin to start with. Then I have an asymptote at pi over 2, so I'll do that in red. Make sure I'm lined up nicely. All right, and so then at pi, we're back to 0. And then at 3 pi over 2, we're back to having an asymptote. Yeah, I can get this nice and straight. Sorry, I'm a weirdo about crooked, like lines that aren't parallel. So 3 pi over 2 gives me an asymptote. And then at 2 pi, I have a point at 0. So if we follow this pattern backwards, I've got an intercept on my purple line, and then an asymptote, and then an intercept, and then an asymptote, and then an intercept. And so that tells me that at pi over 2, I would have an asymptote. Okay, just following the pattern for tangents. Okay, so that takes care of my left-hand column. And then looking at that, I really don't know what that's supposed to look like. So that's why we added in these values here. So notice 0 to 1/4 pi, to 1/2 pi, to 3/4 pi. These are all in order. So I can add in here that this is pi over 4, and then pi over 2, and then 3 pi over 4, and then pi, and then 5 pi over 4, and then 3 pi over 2, and then 7 pi over 4. And so if I follow that pattern backwards, reflecting across the y-axis would put me at negative pi over 4 here. Okay. So then looking at these values, this is saying the tangent of pi over 4 is at 1. So that kind of got moved a little. Sorry, that was negative pi over 4. Ignore that value. Pi over 4 is right here at 1. There we go. 3 pi over 4 is at negative 1. Notice I'm not saying a minimum because it's not a minimum. Then 5 pi over 4 is back to positive 1. And then 7 pi over 4 is back to negative 1. So if I follow this pattern, I've got negative 1 asymptote, positive 1, 0, negative 1 asymptote, positive 1, 0. So this one's going to be at negative 1, and then we have an asymptote. And so obviously these are not spaced very well, but we're going to go ahead and fill this in. So we're going to follow the asymptote and connect to those 3 dots. Oh, I missed a little bit. You know, when you miss, you just make the dot bigger, right? And then this is like the bottom half. All right, so the next question we want to ask ourselves is this a periodic function? So knowing that tangent does come from the unit circle kind of gives us a hint that once we get back around to 2 pi, for sure, we're going to have another period of the same values and then another. So I'm pretty sure it's periodic. And so this answer is yes. So notice I could buy a rubber stamp that would fit between pi over 2 to 3 pi over 2. And I could stamp that here, and I could stamp it here, and here, and here, and I would have that function. So yes, it is periodic. But then the question is, what is the period? So remember, we don't want to buy more of a rubber stamp than we have to because we don't want to waste money. So if I go with the traditional 2 pi, do you see that that puts me, from here to here? Or if I shift just a little bit, that would put me here. So I don't need to buy 2 of these. I only need to buy 1 of these on my rubber stamp. So do you see that I can move it even smaller? And if I can just get 1 of those, then I can stamp it here and stamp it here, just like I said. So notice this value is at pi over 2. And this value here is at negative pi over 2. So if I do pi over 2 minus negative pi over 2, I get a period of, so remember that keep, change makes that plus. So I get a period of 2 pi over 2 or just pi. And then notice here, 3 pi over 2 minus 1 pi over 2 gives me 2 pi over 2, which is just pi. So my period is very different from sine and cosine because I only need a stamp that's half the size. I don't need the full 2 pi. I can get away with a stamp that's only pi. All right, so these are the things that we wanted to pay attention to, and we did this for sine and cosine. And so the first one, we just figured out the period is no longer 2 pi, it's going to be pi. We also figured out there's x values that we can't use. So where I have an asymptote is a break in the domain. So I had an asymptote at negative pi over 2, at positive 1 pi over 2, at 3 pi over 2. And so I can have a point on all real numbers except any odd pi over 2. So n pi over 2, where n is an odd integer, that's where my asymptotes are going to be, and that's what breaks up my domain. My range also changes because we're not just oscillating between -1 and +1. That's the one that's all real numbers because I'm going to follow the asymptote up, and I'm going to follow the other asymptote down. So my x-intercepts occurred at 0, at pi, and at 2 pi. And so we can say that my x-intercepts occur at pi n, where n is an integer. And just like we found on the unit circle, we said that y over x at 0 was 0 over 1. And so tangent starts at 0 on the y-axis. And then like we said, where it breaks up the domain, that's where we have our asymptotes. So our asymptotes are at the lines x is equal to pi over 2n, where n is an odd integer, or like I said up top, n pi over 2. They mean the same thing.